This video is part of a professional learning toolkit, which is based on the What Works Clearinghouse Practice Guide, Improving Reading Comprehension in Kindergarten through 3rd Grade. You will learn about one of the 6 evidence-based comprehension strategies shown to impact reading comprehension as defined in the practice guide. This video highlights the comprehension strategy, inferencing. Have you ever looked at a student and known that they had a really bad day? We make hundreds of inferences in a day by combining what we know with the clues or evidence presented before us. If we know a student usually smiles from ear to ear and walks with pep in their step, when this does not happen, we can make an inference that they are sad or disappointed. These inferences are based on using our prior knowledge and context clues. Through the process of making inferences, we don't need the student to explicitly tell us, "I am sad," for us to draw a conclusion about how they are feeling. Similarly, good readers use context clues and what they already know to make sense of a text. Students can learn how to draw inferences as a reading comprehension strategy. According to the practice guide, drawing inferences is when students generate information that is important to constructing meaning, but that is missing from or not explicitly stated in the text. Inferences are guesses or hypotheses that a reader makes based on the information that is provided in a text and what the reader knows about the world. In the early grades, students can learn how to draw inferences during read-alouds and practice with simple texts. As texts become increasingly complex, students use inferencing to understand the nuances in what they read. Inferencing is an effective strategy at improving reading comprehension that can be used with narrative and informational text. Both inferencing and predicting involve using the text and what students know about the world to make a guess or hypothesis. When we use the predicting strategy, we make a guess about what will happen next. However, when drawing inferences, we draw conclusions about what is not being said, explained, or shown explicitly in the text. When teaching these 2 reading comprehension strategies, it will be important to reiterate the distinction between them. There are a few suggestions for supporting students' use of inferencing in the practice guide on page 13. These activities can help support you in practicing the strategy with your students. Here is another way, beyond the activities outlined in the practice guide, to engage your students in the strategy of inferencing. This activity is called Text Detectives, and it will give students more practice drawing inferences. These activities can be differentiated for kindergarten through 3rd graders. First, remind the students that we make inferences every day. Find and choose several interesting images where students might have to infer what happened. Ask them to use the pictures and what they know to guess what might have happened based on what they see. Tell them, when you do this, you're making an inference. Show students this formula for how to make an inference. Clues from the text such as, "I noticed that the text says," plus what they already know, such as, "I know that," equals drawing inferences to make conclusions or judgments about what is not said explicitly. Therefore, I think it's likely that. Keep the formula on display or otherwise accessible for the students to see and use. As they gain familiarity, remove it. Then, use a book from your classroom library, read a portion of the text aloud, and model how you'd use the formula to draw an inference based on what you read in the text. Explain how the clues helped you to figure out something from the text that wasn't explicitly there. Continue to read and have students draw inferences and share aloud using the same formula. These activities should be done as a whole class at first. Then, support students to work in pairs and then to work independently. This process models a gradual release of responsibility, which allows students to develop and hone their understanding of the strategy before demonstrating it independently. It is important to describe and model inferencing so that the strategy becomes more routine as students use the strategy in their day-to-day lives. Inferencing can be used independently or combined with other strategies, such as activating prior knowledge and predicting, which you can find in other videos as part of this toolkit. Inferencing is an effective reading comprehension strategy leveraged by strong readers that increases their engagement as active readers, draws them into the text more deeply, and increases their ability to understand texts.